thing. Now, I've been asked quite a few times what it means. What is this? Well, I just make a spontaneous gesture, I call it, where I make my art piece. It just comes out of my head. And sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. And if I like it, I'll use it and develop it into a wooden piece that I'll put out there, or make a few of them, or many of them, of the same one. But the initial, what I call gesture, um, is, I believe, because it's abstract and it's coming from the subconscious. It comes from the fact that when I was young, my family moved all the time, every year and a half to 2 years, while I was going to school. And I specifically recall noticing loads of people in the school hallways and stairwells in between classes that would just come out of the classes. All these faces. And when I was in the 5th grade, I made my first spontaneous entities in the classroom after witnessing that. And the teacher came around and says, "Michael, what is this?" And I said, "I don't know, I just do this." And she was kind of intrigued. It's kind of cool. And then I put eyes all over it. Well, I think it just comes out like an automatic writing from seeing all those faces. I mean, every year and a half to 2 years to move. And you see all these faces in the hall and in the stairwell. And then when you go to class, you're seeing people that you now know because you've been in class with them. Okay? Now, as far as the actual eyes and the art part, the mouths and all, I believe that comes from the fact that when I was impressionable and young and in between the 4th and 7th grade, actually between 8 and 12 years old. I'm sorry, we have birds now making a racket. We're in the suburbs, so you're going to hear noises. Okay, dogs, people, cars, birds, depends on the time of day. Okay, but when I embellish these things, it's deliberate, but there's a subconsciousness going on also. And I believe that comes from the fact that between the ages of certainly 8 years old and 12 years old, I lived in Saugerties, New York, in Blue Mountain, it was called. And it was beautiful. It was like living in a Garden of Eden. It had been an old dairy farm. It had been the house we lived in was a farm type scenario with a stream in the backyard, a pond in the front yard, a cornfield, not big cornfield, but a cornfield nonetheless. Fields all around, a cliff with grapes. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better as a child. Certainly I wouldn't want to live there. Am I intruding on these birds? I wouldn't want to live there in my older years because it's a 40-minute ride to get a soda or a beer, okay? But it was beautiful. And I played in this pond in the front yard where there were all kinds of little critters and creatures, aquatic life, particularly frogs, but before that they're tadpoles. They call them bubblehead fish. They're these they're pollywogs, okay? But you're seeing them in all different stages. And it happens like monthly for a while. All of a sudden, at first they're all tiny and they start having a little tail. They don't have all their legs and stuff. And then, as they develop, all of them are gone, and they're different. It's the same creatures, but they're bigger and they're more complete as frogs. Well, impressionable as a child, you're seeing many different creatures: birds, turtle, snakes, salamanders, and then we had farm animals. We had a cow, we had chickens, we had baby chicks, ducks, okay? You're seeing all these life in so many different stages quickly. Every month or so it all changed. And then there was the plant life. And plant life would grow like, it's hard to describe to someone in the suburbs, but let's say a big pine tree fell over in the woods and you walk through the woods. Now, initially I wasn't allowed to just walk alone in the woods, but you see a big pine tree, the roots are still there, the tree is fallen, all the branches on the top start to grow like trees. And that kind of, there's a psyche to to seeing that and recognizing it looks like a bunch of trees, but where are they? There's no root. It's the branches of the tree. It's been laying there for probably 30 years. But the fact is, this is the kind of thing that I think is in my subconscious, and that's what I think comes out in these characters. Okay, you have these are part like plant, part like animal, almost part biomorphic, and to some degree, one would say put together they're almost like people or a grouping of live creatures, and I think that's the subconscious thing that comes out of them. That's my belief, my opinion. Okay, since at some point people are going to want to know what my opinion was.